What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the Fringe. Breaking news. Not really breaking because we kind of half expected it. Stephen Guilbeault has quit Carney's cabinet. He is leaving. Interesting times because there's been rumor for quite some time with Crystia Freeland's departure, now Stephen Guilbeault's, that, well, it doesn't look like Carney might get that majority government after all, unless he really starts swinging that carrot on the stick for any conservatives or NDPs to cross the floor. But this should really tell you something about Canada's market crumbling. I want to get into that because there's a lot going on in Canada right now aside from Stephen Guilbeault. We need to get into it right here on Twitter. So if we head over to X and take a look here, Wiretap Media showing, if you really want to know the shit show that's going on in this country and just how bad things are becoming, Mark Carney not only had his bumbling pipeline project that's never going to be a pipeline announced today, but now Wiretap Media reporting the Legal Center for Palestine is now suing Canadians for Israel's war crimes. They're not seeking monetary damages, but instead a legal declaration which will result in massive monetary reparations for Palestinians. This would never fly in the United States. So when you look at all the land claims that are going on in BC, when you look at now the Palestinians saying, hey, we want monetary reparations for Palestinians, why in Canada? This isn't our war. This wasn't our problem. Like, don't say I didn't warn anybody that this was going to come. I'm not even going to play what this Yahoo has to say because Wiretap has it all laid out nice for you down here. You don't have to listen to that. The plaintiffs allege that Canada has violated the 1948 Genocide Convention and the plaintiffs' rights under the Charter of Rights and Freedoms. The lawsuit was filed on behalf of two Palestinian Canadians who have experienced significant personal and family losses in Gaza. Well, that sounds like your issue isn't an me. Go back to Gaza and ask them for money. The plaintiffs allege that Canada has violated the 1948 Genocide Convention and the plaintiffs' rights under the Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms through various actions, including involvement in the arms trade, military cooperation, and a charity to Israel military pipeline. Are you guys starting to see how Looney Tunes this country's getting? Is this not bothering people? Like, I don't like Stephen Guilbeault, but it's no wonder people are dropping out of Carney's cabinet. The result seeks court declarations that Canada has failed in its duty to prevent genocide and have violated the plaintiffs' charter rights. They don't have charter rights. They came here from somewhere else. The Canadian government has sought to dismiss the case, arguing that it falls outside the court's jurisdiction. Arguments regarding the motion were scheduled for, well, technically today. I'll keep everybody updated on that nonsense. Jason Levine saying Carney should learn, give an inch, they will try to take a mile. He should have stayed out of this mess and put it to not our problem pile. We've been saying this for months. Months. But the government needed a distraction while they were stealing $15 billion to give to Stellantis. Check out that video earlier today if you haven't already. What's good, at least, what's good for Canada is Mark Nixon showing, and I know we don't really typically go for polls, but hey, good news is better than bad news. Mark Nixon tweeting out, I can't wait to see all of the Liberal accounts melt down today. Here's the latest Kolosky poll modeled out. Conservatives projected at 170 seats, well, 169. 150 seats to the Liberals, less 19. The Bloc gaining 24 seats, up 2. But as you look at that map, this is what, if Alberta were to leave, this is what the Western Republic should look like. Just all blue along here. And then right where we get to Ontario, right where this line is in Ontario, just draw a little line down the middle here. This part of Ontario can come. I know there's people who vote Conservative who have common sense thoughts that live all in this area down here. They can just move over here. Even when you look down here at like Mega City 1, as my co-host Matt calls it, you can see down here, like, oh, it's all Liberal, all red. What was it? We showed a map a long time ago as a joke saying that this should be called the zoo. I mean, certain areas are starting to change. You can see around where it was usually split right down the middle, even though it still technically is. There's red and there's blue, more blue in the surrounding areas of Manitoba. Saskatoon's blue, Regina's blue, Calgary blue, except for potentially 2 areas. These 2 areas go blue anyways. So this poll doesn't really reflect what an actual election would be. Edmonton, of course, they've only elected 1 Liberal. So again, this stronger red would be that. But good news for the Conservative Party, as well, Mark Carney is imploding. Let's head over to what the Clown Broadcasting Corporation, or sorry, CTV News. I thought it was the Clown Broadcasting Corporation. It's CTV News. Coming out and talking. The former Environment Minister now quits Carney's cabinet. Well, Stephen Guilbeault has resigned from Prime Minister's cabinet, citing his strong opposition to the federal Liberal government's major new energy agreement with Alberta. Well, nothing's going to come of that. The dramatic departure comes just hours after Carney signed a memorandum of understanding, which is not even worth the paper it was written on, with Alberta laying the groundwork for strengthened cooperation on major energy products, including a new pipeline and carbon capture. In a lengthy statement posted online, Guilbeault said he informed the Prime Minister of his decision this afternoon, noting he is also departing from his key political role as Carney's Quebec lieutenant. Guilbeault said he understands the Prime Minister's efforts, though the Quebec politician remains, quote, one of those for whom environmental issues must remain front and center. This is why I strongly oppose the memorandum of understanding between the federal government and the government of Alberta, Guilbeault said, noting he made the decision with great sadness. Oh, how dare you? How dare you try to make Alberta think that we're paying attention to them? This afternoon, I informed the Prime Minister of my decision to resign as Minister of Canadian Identity, whatever the hell that is, and Culture, Minister responsible for official languages, Minister of Nature and Parks Canada, as well as his lieutenant in Quebec. You can find my statement below. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Stephen Guilbeault has been serving as Carney's official languages minister since May. Nobody cares. And the Minister of Canadian Identity and Culture since March. He held a series of other cabinet portfolios, including the Minister of the Environment and Climate Change under former Prime Minister Justin Trudeau. The good news, folks, is another one bites the dust. This is another minister out the window, another one of Trudeau's clown car drivers that are essentially gone now. Between crystia freeland, there's rumor that others could follow suit very quickly. I guess we'll wait and see. I guess we'll see what happens now that Mark Carney's disastrous budget has dropped alongside this bogus pipeline announcement. Wait to see what happens with the AGM this weekend and the things that Danielle Smith has to announce. I'm willing to bet there's going to be a few things discussing Alberta's sovereignty with things like a police force and Alberta pension plan in its moves to try and get away from the federal government. The next few weeks is going to be interesting, folks. Make sure you keep your ears to the track. Let me know what you think down below in the comments. Are you happy to see Stephen Guilbeault go? Guilbeault go? Maybe we should do that as a hashtag. Can you believe that we're being sued for Palestinian money and reparations for something that isn't even our fault? Let me know your thoughts down below. If it's your first time here, I hope this video has earned your subscription. Make sure as you hit that button, you join me live on the channel each and every Wednesday and Friday for Unhinged Fringe on Wednesdays, Friday Night Fringe on Fridays, as I'm joined by my new co-host, Matt, on Wednesdays, the beautiful Mrs. Fringe on Fridays. So we talk about everything that happened this week in politics, everything that comes up in the week ahead that we're aware of, and Q&A within the greatest YouTube community on the platform. I look forward to talking with you guys each and every week. I most importantly look forward to talking to you this week, starting at 6 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Central, here on the channel. With that said, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you have a great rest of your day. I'll catch you on the next one.